Hello, welcome to the United Community Channel, your match reaction. Manchester United 3, Southampton 1. A hat-trick from Ahmad in the last, 12 minutes of the game. And for 80 minutes, that was desperate for Manchester United. But one, I suppose, spark from a player can change everybody's perspective. But we're going to go through some of the talking points of the game, guys. Smash a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And we've got the two boys in, as always, Chris and Ben. Chris, I'll start with you. I mean, for 80 minutes, that was desperately bad, I think, is probably the only way of saying it. But, you know, sometimes you need, and many teams have players that can just pull it out of the bag, and we've certainly got one with Ahmad. So is the overall feeling negative or positive?
Good question. I'm going to go positive for the 3 points, and I'll just say that, we didn't come out like we did. I mean, if you watch the first, 45, 60, 70 minutes, we didn't press.
Yeah.
We really didn't. Like, we didn't press up top. We weren't applying the pressure to them in the back. I mean, and then when we did in the last 12 minutes, we got 3 goals.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of almost I don't know where Ahmad ended up with all the substitutions, if he's playing still wing back or if
he was. Yeah.
So, I mean, because to be honest with you, at the very first part of the game, I thought he was kind of wasted out there, playing wing back, because he wasn't getting forward like he was in the second half, like when we were going for it.
But you know what? Do you know what I would say about that, though, Chris? Is even though, and I probably slightly agree with you on it, but I think even at that, he was still one of our most advanced players a lot of the time in the opposition box.
He was, but I mean, I really think his spot is is as one of those 10s, because the way he presses is, I mean, he makes guys make mistakes in the back on the other team. He just does, and I think. And I understand Delow's out, so you gotta move around a little bit. But I just think we came out a little flat, almost like, hey, we gotta. I don't know if we want to say we conserve energy or we kind of do this or do that, but it's just like we didn't come out like we were playing a top-notch club, and we let them dictate, and no team can let that happen. I don't care who you are. If you let the other team dictate, you're gonna. And let's be honest, we should have a penalty in the first half. The guy's arm was up like this, and he controls it down to himself. That should have been I don't know why it's not a penalty, but it should have been. And Manu had a chance. He missed it. As many chances as Southampton have. I'm not taking it away from him, but like 3-0, even in the first half, I think it should have been at least 3-2 at that point, was the penalty and Manu's chance. And Garnacho missed one too. So, I mean, I think I'm disappointed, but I'm happy we got 3 points.
Yeah. Ben, like in relation to, say, the last couple of weeks, the performances have been brilliant. And look, we did say that, this is going to really determine what kind of squad we've got and so on and so forth. And it's always difficult against a team that plays a low block, you know what I mean? And, that invite you in, and you'd rather, the Liverpool and the Arsenals, there's always a bit more space in behind them naturally. But was there a case today that United were patient in any way, shape or form, or do you think we probably just got a little bit lucky in the end?
I don't think it's patience. I think teams like that is getting the first goal.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's getting through, breaking them down and getting the first goal, and the other goals are going to come, don't you? So,
yeah.
I reckon the changes, though, even Zirkzee and Collier worked. Yeah, that changed the game.
I agree, 100%. I think we looked a lot better when they come on. The Bud is in, all right, Bud. There he is. Give us. I love when I see you coming in, boy. Just positivity, a ray of sunshine coming in. What did you make of that?
I tell you what, I was coaching my own team tonight, so I didn't get to see up till 70 minutes. I thought we were fucking brilliant.
Do you know what? Why the fuck didn't the rest of us do that? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
So yeah, don't ask me any questions before 70 minutes, because I thought we were class.
Right, from 70 to 94, what did you make of it?
Unbelievable stuff, Jack. Well, some squad.
But Desi, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll throw this here, and I mentioned it to the boys already. You know, sometimes you just need a little bit of individual brilliance. You know what I mean? And I think we have that with Ahmad. You know, there's a lot of kinks to be ironed out, and so on and so forth. And I think as well, what I do have to give mention, because we mentioned it an awful lot under Eric Ten Hag about the negativity of substitutions. I think the substitutions tonight were fucking brilliant because we looked better and better the more and more he made.
Thank God he signed that contract for 2030.
Yeah.
Some player on our hands, Jack.
Yeah.
Hashtag give Ahmad the number 7.
Give him any number he wants. Give him any money he wants. You know what I mean? But you know what, Jack? For what I did see, I thought the Zirkzee have a good game. He looked like he was doing all right.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen for the last 20, anyway, he seems to be doing really well.
Yeah.
I was coaching my own team and lads were saying, 1-0 to Southampton. I was like, oh no, I'm not going home to that match reaction, man.
How are you coaching? How are you coaching? And your boys have their phones out, looking at the game, giving you scores.
No, I have to. Look, I'm not the only coach there. There's a goalkeeping coach. There's a fitness instructor. So the boys are giving it the big one. Southampton are after scoring.
Desi coaches in Dublin where you get goalkeeping coaches and fitness instructors and all that. Down here in Kilkenny, it's just one fucking coach for about 6 underage teams.
Jack, you know what, Jack? I have to correct you. I'm from Drawley, not Dublin.
I apologise. Well, sorry. It's kind of the further you get from Dublin. Yeah, the further you get from Dublin, the worse it gets. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Chris, I wanna bring you in and ask you about Zirkzee, because obviously Desi mentioned it there, and it was I thought he was one of the main reasons why we went on to have a positive second half. Surely there's a call there now on the back of maybe Hojlund again struggling that. Do you go with Zirkzee now? And is Zirkzee tiptoeing his way into being maybe Ruben Amorim's first choice?
I don't think he tiptoes. I mean, I wanted Zirkzee to start this game.
Yeah.
And I understand, but I get the idea. Well, maybe we'll get Rasmus out there and he can knock a couple back and get his confidence up. But like I said in the beginning of the game, just watch his off-the-ball movements, Hojlund's off-the-ball movements. He doesn't make runs. He stays central and just kind of Zirkzee, even if he's coming back and he puts himself in the play, and and I have to commend him for that. And I have to say that's how, you're not relying on everybody just to feed you the ball. He's making things happen for other people. And he's opening up spaces. When he brings someone out, you open up spaces for someone else. Where Hojlund is just kind of, I'm waiting for Hojlund to make a run, and I'm like, no, he's just like, no, I'm going to stay over here. So, I mean, I think that against Brighton, I would hope that this does enough that Zirkzee gets a start and see what he does from there. I mean, I think he needs to. I mean, I think Hojlund maybe needs to sit and watch what he does. And I'm not saying that they're the same type of player, but you got to make other runs. You got to make runs out of the central and stuff.
Yeah. That's the key to it, though, Chris.
What's that?
Two different type of players.
Yeah.
I said last week that I know you want to see Hojlund maybe doing what Zirkzee does, but again, Hojlund's more of a bullish type of striker where he's running onto the ball, not dropping in deep. That's his game, and it's just not happening for him. I think I know what you're saying, like he is very static at times, but he likes us to be higher up the field and him running onto a ball than coming short, receiving it with back to goal.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between him and Zirkzee, is he would never do the job that Zirkzee does is good. And Zirkzee is much more clever, where Hojlund's only got one thing in his mind: put that ball through and I'm onto it, strong, powerful, strike off at the end of it.
And I agree with that, and I understand that. And I'm not saying that Hojlund needs to be Zirkzee, but he needs to make better movements, and he needs to make better runs just for the fact that you open it up for other players to run through. Because if you're coming central and we're moving forward, if you make a run to the corner, a diagonal run to the corner, you're drawing someone out, so someone else can make the run in behind. and I'm not saying he has to do it all the time, but one out of three, two out of 5 times that happens, because otherwise you're easy to defend, and that's the only problem I have with him right now. He's easy to defend, and it has to be a perfect ball for him to get, and that's not where we're at. So that's the problem.
And I think as well with when Zirkzee plays, and I think we've seen it especially tonight. I think the likes of Garnacho play better, and I think the likes of, I know Anthony was in one of the other number 10s as well, because they like to go along, or they like to get in behind. And when Zirkzee comes looking for the ball, he's pulling defenders with him and creating space in behind. And I thought we seen Garnacho get a lot more joy when Zirkzee was on, because what happens is if Bruno's on the ball on the inside right channel, and Hojlund is running, kind of moving away, but go and Garnacho's behind him going into the same space. You know what I mean? Whereas if Zirkzee comes short for it, and then Garnacho is in behind, I just think it suits their styles of play a little bit more. But look,
like you're saying, Jack,
yeah,
like what you're saying, like if Hojlund comes, like if everybody's going in the same space, but if Hojlund's running to the corner and then Garnacho can cut inside it, you can go like this and cross through. And but otherwise they just run with each other, and everybody's like, well, this is kind of easy. One defender can mark 2 of them at that point. I mean, it's just like, it's like
an episode of Benny Hill.
It really is. But he has to make runs, even if he takes a run. If the ball's on the left side and Bruno has it on the left side, even if Hojlund would fade off to the right and let the other number 10 come through the middle, and then he can come on a trailing run. It's just things like that, just off the ball movements to make it less, so it's not so easy to defend them. You know?
I get you.
Because the more you move, the more chance someone else the other team's going to make a mistake and lose you, and then all of a sudden you show up and bang, you get that goal. You're coming full steam ahead and you're making a delayed run and you're there.
Yeah, I get you.
Don't ask me out, but I'd like to see them play together as well.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Making the space and Hojlund's getting in the gaps.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'd like to see it. Yeah, 100%. Ricey is in the chat.
Oh no!
He said made in Sunderland, and all Sunderland fan thought about Ahmad. You fucking fraud, yeah. Right, let me get down through some of these comments here, and we'll see what people are saying. Finn says the overall feeling is relief. I agree, 100%. Dan says we were lucky we weren't out of that game. We were lucky we weren't out of that game by half time. Yeah, 100. We could have been. We could have been 2 or 3 goals down at halftime. Nice 1-2 with the defenders for the first goal, says Finn. Craig says Ahmad has become an elite player over the last few months. Warren says, is it possible to score a hat-trick but still deliver a bad performance? So pumped for Ahmad, but I hope he focuses on his poor aspects of the match, which boils down to consistency. Also, Anthony. Well, look, I mean, any good player, won't dwell on the positives and will try and improve. But, let me enjoy a hat-trick for Manchester United as well. Hopefully we kick on from here, says Michael. Well, look. Hopefully that's the kick up the arse we need, when it comes to, the bottom teams. Shane says, thought Southampton passed us really well in the first half and United couldn't get out. Yeah, I agree. I thought they broke the lines really, probably too easy to be quite honest with you, but their intensity was good. Finn says, if we lost tonight, that was 4 losses in a row at home. Ahmad wasn't going to let that happen. Warren says, also, what a showing from Zirkzee. I've said it before, I don't see him as a striker, but a playmaker. He looked smooth tonight. Darryl says, on the subs, Anthony was fucking awful. All right, okay, well, he didn't get them all right. You know what I mean? But Anthony is awful whether he's a sub or a starter anyway. So,
what was he doing with that chance?
Oh my God! I've never seen I struggled to actually describe it in the live. You know what I mean? I like for people, a lot of people that don't have the game on. I actually don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you.
I think he so wanted to
that goal. And he's so frame, man.
He so wanted to figure out how he is going to position himself to use his left foot to score it that he screwed himself up, and it just didn't happen. I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
He reminds you of a player that's always 2 steps ahead in his head, but his feet are not quick enough to get there. You know what I mean? He just needs to slow down and take it 1 step at a time. You know what I mean? Stephen says, I think that penalty has done Zirkzee the world of good. I hope so. I absolutely hope so. What else have we got? Warren says, more impressive than the hat-trick, but when was the last time a player-manager signed a new contract with United and we've seen an actual improvement? Well, he signed a contract and scored a hat-trick. That's an improvement in my eyes because he never scored a hat-trick for United before. So I'll take it. Ben, I want to talk to you real quick about... Lenny Yoro. He had a bit of a fucking... Yeah, he had a tough time tonight with that Messi lad out on the left-hand side. Welcome to the Premier League, I suppose.
Yeah.
I agree. But his age again, isn't it? Like you're saying, but that's where you get your experience-based talk. Look at when De Ligt went and tackled him, when he was marking him. Hit him on his touch, that's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
So that's going to come in. He gets to let off tonight.
It's a learning curve. Yeah, absolutely. Chris, any concerns on that? Is it just he's a young kid, he's learning the ropes. I think performances like that are actually more beneficial for an 18-year-old than good ones.
Well, yeah, and I think he went up. I mean, in the first half, it's Dibbling and then that Sulemana kid. I mean, they're 2 top-notch, up and comers. If you think about, if you look at it. So
well, put it this way: when Southampton get relegated, they will be snapped up.
Yep, 100%. I mean, Dibbling's already been talked about more over than anybody right now. But the problem is, from what I've read and listened to, is that he wants to stay at Southampton. He doesn't think he's ready for the big club yet, which is, okay. But at the same time, I think, like you said, Jack, it's good for him because if you kind of coast and if you don't get humbled a little bit, then that's bad. But I just got to take my hats off to the way the De Ligt played today.
Oh yeah. I got into an argument in the pub on Sunday night, right, over De Ligt.
I'm sure that one went well
because the fucking Liverpool lad said De Ligt has been shite for you this season and he's slow as a wet week. And I showed him the clip of him going from the edge of the Arsenal box up to, and he goes, "You're fucking going up here annoying me."
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been so impressed with him, to be honest with you. Really, really have.
One of my friends is not a De Ligt fan. He's United. He's part of our subscriber. He's one of the subscribers. He's not a De Ligt fan, but and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't play the ball well." And I'm like, "But he's a defender."
Yeah.
You don't need all your defenders to be ball playing defenders. I mean, he puts his face in there. He blocks shots. He tackles. That's what you want him to do.
If anyone can't be a De Ligt fan after the clearance off the line in the Emirates the other night, I mean, I don't. You know what I mean? You don't like defending then if that's the case.
Well, it's just like Rio. Well, he went sliding past Gakpo. Okay, so Gakpo made a move. He's a class player. I mean, it happens. Yeah. But at the same time, De Ligt from that has turned in right now to, if you go player ratings, 8.5, 8.
Yeah.
I think he was our best defender tonight. I mean, Martinez got turned by Dibbling the one time, in the first half. I was like, "Ooh, bad." So
yeah, absolutely.
How come Maguire didn't start?
Just rest. He was in bed sick for 2 days before the Arsenal game. So, you're playing Southampton. I would presume Amram just went, look, it's a good opportunity to rest him. D is in. He says, just in, was out for dinner, missed the whole game. I've scrolled to the top of the chat so I can't see the score. Sorry to inform you, but it's actually on the fucking screen. Don't ruin it anyway. I don't know if you have it blurred out, but welcome, D. Warren said, Yoro struggled, but I do wonder why he wasn't supported by his fellow defenders. Ahmad was always going to break forward to Martinez, and De Ligt should help. That said, he didn't score well. I thought De Ligt was always on the cover with him on the inside. Now, look, when you've got somebody like Ahmad playing in the wing-back role, you're not going to get a lot of cover out of him. You know what I mean? And in fairness to what Southampton were doing, is they were switching the ball from left to right very quick. You know what I mean? So he was getting isolated at times. Finn says, sorry, go on.
I think part of our problem today was, and I don't want to steamroll him, but Manu did not have a good game tonight.
Okay, yeah.
He was kind of in the middle of everything, like just like in the middle of each player, not like he was kind of lost, I think, in everything, and I think that was part of it, and everything when they were going across and everything, like playing the ball left to right and stuff. I mean, I don't think Manu had a very good game at all.
Yeah. And again, look, this goes back to what we've said on numerous occasions, is that these young players are going to have bad games. They're going to have bad games, and we have to accept that, and it's down to, it's Man United's fault that we're so reliant on these young players, where they should be coming in and out. And Manu has the talent to be in there, you know what I mean, on a consistent basis. But, he's not going to be doing it week in, week out. When is the last time Pepsi got a hat? What? Pepsi got a hat without a penalty?
Messi.
Fuck out here, Messi. I have no idea what that means.
I think he meant, when's the last time Messi got a hat trick without a penalty?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Messi. Right, sorry. Mike says, it's amazing what a home win against one of the worst teams in Premier League history can do for the confidence. Top 10, here we come. Get up the yard, I said.
A win's a win.
Right, let's leave it on that, I think. And we'll move on to Brighton on the weekend. Any concerns, lads, about Brighton on the weekend after that performance? Thanks for watching, lads. We'll see you next week. The fucking silence was deafening. So it was. Don't even answer.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, but I think when Maguire and Delo come back in the team, I think it's going to be different, and everything. So, I'm still optimistic. I still think we can. I think, though, Brighton will let us press. They play a little bit higher up. They don't play so low. So
Jesse's eyebrows are up. He's going to respond here, I can tell.
No, I was going to ask you a question, Jack. When was the last time you were on this and we had 3 consecutive games unbeaten?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Man United UCC trivia back.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Retro style back then.
Any of the admins want to go all the way back?
I can't remember coming on this show and we've had 3 games where we've been unbeaten.
Yeah. Well, look, good foundation now, hopefully, to go on and
end on that.
There we go. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure I'll see you Sunday for the match reaction as well. All right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, lads, as always.
Guys,
thanks for watching as well. I do appreciate it. Do smash a like on the video if you haven't done so already. It does help out the channel an awful lot. We've only got 17 likes, so if you haven't, hit it on the way out. Subscribe if you're new as well. United pick up 3 points. Not the greatest performance in the world, but look, a win is a win, and we need it in the Premier League. Up to 12th. We've got to just build on that now. Keep improving the performances. Keep putting 3 points on the board. And the top half is coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for 5 talking points on tonight's game. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy. Good luck.